Matt and Buffy Payne are a couple driven by purpose. Through their nonprofit, Outer Circle Foundation, and faith-based organizations like Few and Dudes, their mission is clear: to spark positive change, empower others, and build a better world, one connection at a time. She is Chick. He is Dude. Welcome to the Chicken Dude Stuff podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to
Chick
and Dude Stuff. But anyway, today we are super fortunate to have our own Paulding County Sheriff, Ashley Henson, with us. And we're going to dive in and learn a little bit more about Ashley, about the county, about the sheriff's office and things. So I will make sure that we get right to it.
Yes.
Ashley, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. I know you're busy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me and looking forward to it.
So kind of give us, I know you're from Paulding originally and kind of grew up here, and tell us kind of how it went for you from being here when it was way back and, you know, dirt roads and a lot of the farmland and things that started to kind of where it is now, and your progression through the sheriff's office and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I've lived here my whole life. Went to high school and graduated at East Paulding back in '96. And I can remember as a kid, I think there was only two red lights that I can remember. The one in town at the courthouse and the one at Mackland and Merchants Drive, which is where the old original McDonald's is, right there at the plaza. So I can remember those two red lights. There was a lot of four ways, a lot more dirt roads than there are now. But this county has grown by leaps and bounds. I saw a number the other day. I think it was 191,000 is what we're supposed to have right now as far as population. So we're growing by leaps and bounds, but it's still a great place to live. And I love it. It's home. My wife and I have two boys, and our kids are ninth generation Paulding Countyans on her side. And so it's just awesome to be here, and especially now to be the sheriff. It's been a great honor. It's been a great year.
So when you graduated high school, what was your course of track? College? Did you go right into the sheriff's office? What did you do out of high school?
Yeah, so I actually started college. My original intent, what I thought I was going to do, was be a surveyor. My best friend, his dad's a surveyor and he's a surveyor. And the tentative plan was for us to work together. And I went to Southern Tech, which is no longer there anymore. It's been absorbed by Kennesaw State. And I did a year and a half there. And that I realized about that, well, at some point in the first year, but certainly into that second year, I realized that math and I were not friends. And so, especially that high level math. And so I transferred to, my parents are educators, and my brother at the time was at West Georgia, going to be an educator. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just be a teacher. I worked a summer at the Boys and Girls Club here in Dallas, because it was at my dad's school. He was the principal at Dallas Elementary at the time, and just a summer job. And I realized that I did not want to be a teacher. And so I was just, transferred to West Georgia, started in winter '98, which is back then it was on the quarter system. So January '98, and just took core classes. And a friend of mine suggested a criminal justice elective and said, just, you got to have a couple electives anyway, might as well take it. And so the first class I ever took was corrections, and I loved it. And, the more I took criminal justice classes, the more I loved it. I got involved with the Carrollton Police Department. They had we had a program at West Georgia where you could take their Citizens Academy and get class credit for it. You'd have to write a paper, and so you'd get class credit. So I did that, and I did ride-alongs, and it was awesome. I loved it. And then when I graduated with my bachelor's, which was summer 2000, I interned with the GBI down at Region 2 and just fell in love with that. And so had a great summer, learned a lot, and graduated in December of 2000 with my bachelor's. And actually, I wanted to try to get on with the GBI, but at the time they had a hiring freeze. And so I ended up staying at West Georgia. My wife's a couple years younger than me, and so she was there as well. And I ended up staying, getting a graduate assistantship and getting my master's while I was there. So I got a BS in criminology, and then I've got a Master of Arts in sociology with an emphasis on criminology. So got done at, as I was finishing up at West Georgia with my master's program, Sheriff Harris, Bruce Harris, who was the sheriff at the time, old family friend, and he told me, he said, I'll put you to work for a week or for the rest of your life, whatever you want. And so I started here at the SO in September of 2002 and been here ever since.
Wow.
How many were on when you got on back then compared to where it is now?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I would say, so right now we've got, I think we're around 334. We're supposed to be around 380. We're about 50 or so short. I'm guessing maybe 250-ish, maybe. I don't know. We've grown a fair amount since then, but I really don't know an exact number, but we've grown a lot since then.
And I know you've been in office now 10 months, 9 months, 10 months?
Yeah, 10 months and 17 days.
I know since you've been in, a lot of changes are happening. You're bringing technology in, you're bringing a bunch of different things. Let everybody know kind of what your vision is and how you're bringing the department up to where your vision fits that goal.
Yeah, so having worked here for the entirety of my adult life, literally, this is the only real adult job I've ever had in my life. And so this is home, and the sheriff's office means the world to me. We, having been here my entire career, obviously I knew some things that I wanted to kind of put my fingerprint on and change and mold and I guess reshape. I like analogies. So the analogy I use is that, when I took over, we had a pretty nice car. We'll say the sheriff's office is like a car. And so we got a pretty nice car. What we have been able to do is put a new set of tires on that car, a coat of wax, some higher octane fuel. And we are progressing on with that nice car that we were given. And so that's kind of the way that I look at it. We were left in a fairly good position, and so we're just trying to take what we were left with and move forward and do even better things. One of the things that I talked about last year when I was campaigning was the importance of specialized units. Having been a part of specialized units for the majority of my career, I realize that it's vitally important. People don't get into law enforcement because they want to go check alarm calls at a house. They get into law enforcement because they want to be in these specialized units, K9, SWAT, your traffic units, things like that. And so, unfortunately, those had dwindled down over the years because I was a K9 handler. And when I came out of K9 in 2012, we had 4. And unfortunately, my position was never replaced. But one of the things that we've been able to do that I'm really excited about is we have literally doubled our K9 unit in 10 months. We now have 6 K9s. 3 of those, actually 4 of those are operational. 2 are in training right now. But by the end of the year, we'll have 6 fully functional K9 teams. And we're really excited about that. Our traffic unit had waned. It had gone down to between 1 and 2 people. We were fortunate enough to apply for and receive the Georgia Governor's Office of Highway Safety HEAT grant. And so HEAT is Highway Enforcement of Aggressive Traffic. And essentially what those guys will do is they'll go out and they'll look for aggressive driving, excessive speeds, DUIs, seat belts, cell phone, handling cell phones while they're driving. And the vehicles as well as the salaries of those 3 deputies are covered by the cost of this grant, which is fantastic. So we've more than doubled our traffic unit. We have rebranded our former crime suppression unit to our ACE unit, which is aggressive criminal enforcement. We're trying to get out there and show folks that, we're here and we mean business. We want this county to be crime free as much as we can and to be safe. And so those are just a couple of the initiatives that we've worked on. We've got a lot of great men and women that work here with us. And there's still a lot more to do, but that's just a couple of the things that we have tried to implement. You mentioned technology earlier. One of the things that is kind of on my to-do list, on my top 10 of to-do lists, is a real-time crime center. And so we have 2 criminal analysts. They're civilian employees, and they go in and look at trends. They look at, and Matt, you know all this stuff. I'm just kind of preaching to the choir, but for our viewers that are listening and watching, they may not know. We want these individuals. They're basically a supplement to our sworn personnel, because they can go through and they can scour the internet. They can look at trends. They can look at all the things. And ultimately, we want a real-time crime center where we can pair with our local businesses and have their camera systems tied with ours. And so if there is some kind of critical event, we can log into those camera systems and give our deputies real-time information about what's going on in that instance.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But Ashley, I love how you're really using social media now to showcase what you're doing, what your teams are doing, and really kind of setting the standard and expectation if you live in Paulding County. I absolutely love that.
Well, and I appreciate that. And so that's one of the other things that when I ran last year, I told folks, I said, we have to tell our story in a way that only we can do it. And that was my job for a long time. I was our public information officer. And so I realized the value and the importance of both internal and external communications. And I think that's one of the areas where we've seen some of our biggest successes is in our external communication. I mean, I can't go anywhere without somebody saying, I love your social media. Whoever's doing it, give them a raise. And it's true. Our guys are killing it. We have a great team. And that was something that I knew from the get-go. I knew we needed a rock star team. And I feel like I want to be like Bobby Cox of the 90s Braves. Like, he just assembled this fantastic team of individuals. And that's what we're trying to do, is do that very thing. Assemble a team of great people who love what they do, who love their community. And I think we're having a lot of really good success in doing that, because we're telling our story in a way that we've never been able to tell it. And you guys know, I mean, everybody knows, if you don't tell your story, somebody else will. And they're not going to tell it the way you want it told. And they're going to leave out the facts. And that's the important thing, is that we're giving the factual stories of what we're doing. Stopping crime at the county line. That's what I campaigned on, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I love it. Keep going with that. I mean, my goodness, that's awesome. So Ashley, you said you have 2 boys. What do they want to be when they grow up?
So they are our oldest is a freshman at Georgia Southern, and he is pursuing a degree in construction management. And so our youngest is a junior, and I think he wants to do something along those same lines. So my wife's grandparents owned Aiken Grading, which was a really successful grading company. And they have worked for a good friend of mine through work-based learning in high school. And then my oldest will work while he's on breaks, but they enjoy grading, earth moving. It's literally in their blood. And so they're really good on equipment, and they want to start a company. And so what I told them was, anybody can run a tractor. You've got to be able to run the business side as well as, the equipment side of the company. And so Asher, our oldest, is he's pursuing a degree in construction management at Georgia Southern, and Breck, our youngest, is hopefully going to do the same thing. Their tentative plan is they want to work together. My hope is that they'll work for a company, learn the system, learn the business, learn the players and the people, and then one day start a business of their own. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully they'll take from you that how you very quickly figured out that's not what was your skill set and not what your passion was. We see so many young people struggle with that and bounce around for a long time before they figure it out.
Yeah, they seem to be fairly driven. I'm hopeful that'll continue, but they're good at it. They're good at running equipment. And so they've got an eye for detail, which they got that honestly, because I am a stickler for detail. I just see the things. My wife tells me all the time. She's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I can't not see things. And Matt can probably appreciate this from his time wearing uniforms. Like, just if something is not right on a uniform, I can't not see it. If a pin's not properly affixed to a uniform, or something's not squared away or right, that's all I can see. That's just who I am. I'm such a detail oriented individual.
That's good. That's good. And maybe they'll take note too on what Paulding's doing with telling their story. That will be huge as they look forward and moving into potentially their own business.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine what social media will be like by then.
Wow, who knows? It's wild the way it is now, and who knows what it'll be like in 10 to 20 years.
Goodness, I know. I can't imagine.
So you figuratively are out of uniform, and who's Ashley? Like, what's your passions? What do you do?
We like to travel. We enjoy skiing. My wife and I ski. The boys snowboard. We live on some family land and have a little farm, and so I enjoy just working on our farm. I enjoy cutting grass. I mean, I know this seems like these things seem ridiculous to enjoy, but it's just, I enjoy being outside, being on our property, just doing those things. We like traveling. We like going. I love Tennessee football. So we like going to football games. Now it seems like we're chasing our kids all over, because now that they're of driving age, you've got to kind of do the things that they like to do in order to see them. And so we've been traveling to Georgia Southern a little bit to see our oldest. He's been home one time since August. So he's coming home for Thanksgiving, and we're excited about that. But I enjoy keeping our cars clean. My wife's like, I can't believe you like that. I'm like, it's just a stress reliever for me. I like stuff squared away and clean, and I like our vehicles clean. So those are some things that I enjoy doing. We've got a great friend group, and just being with our friends and family. It's just with the job that I have, my wife's an assistant principal, so she's got a lot going on, and she's working on completing her doctorate, and so she'll be done in May. So we're busy with being the newly elected sheriff, having a wife who's an assistant principal and working on her doctorate, and then two boys that are all over the place. We are busy, busy, busy. I was looking at my calendar this morning, and I've got, just so many things going on, but I thrive on the go. It's the days where there's nothing going on. I just kind of look around like, what's next? I'm supposed to be doing something. So I think I'm just one of those people that thrive on the go and the busy of life.
It's amazing, those little things, especially when you're in that law enforcement space, those little things that you find that just kind of squelch your soul and help you relax and do, like, I love doing laundry. It's it's crazy, but like folding clothes and just doing the little things and washing dishes and cleaning up. It's just, the mind goes away, and it's just, all right, cool. Now everything's in its place. It's easy, and I don't have to think about very much,
Yeah, I'm just exactly the same way. Everything's got a place, and I don't leave my house without making the bed. I don't leave my house without everything being squared away. We'll be going on a vacation, and I will clean the house, make sure everything's good to go, take the trash out, do all the things, because I'm just wired that way.
Yep. It's it's so crazy. And Ashley, what I will tell you is, we do date night every month, and this one over here came to me and goes, okay, we're going to go do paint and sip. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. I can't draw a straight line. And she goes, oh yeah, we're going. And we went down, and for 2.5 hours, the world didn't exist. And she was a young girl. She was in college, and she was on a headset and kind of had a camera right on her canvas, and walked you through everything about painting that, whatever it was that we painted. And it was so calming. I don't know how to describe it, but it was really, really cool. And so I don't know if you've ever done that or not, but something that was, I didn't think I would enjoy, I did. And if you get the opportunity, do it.
Yeah, I've never done that. I think my wife's done it a few times, but I am no artist nor musician. But I could see how that would be fun and relaxing just to do it, just to kind of tune the world out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was.
It was.
It was great.
It was. It was.
Now, if I can just get on to do it again.
I know, right?
So I think I'm going to know the answer, but when you look at your core and kind of what drives you and what keeps you motivated, is it, for me, it could be a Bible verse. It could be for others, a mentor that they had, a book that they read, something their father instilled in them. What drives you? What keeps you kind of passionate about life and moving forward?
Well, I think deep down for me and probably most everyone, it's just that faith. I've always had that drive. And my best friend's grandfather, he actually passed away last week. He was 97 years old. And I can remember talking about this with him, and we talked about it last week when he passed. We were washing a car one time, imagine that. And we were washing his car, and we were teenagers. And I don't know if we were kind of just doing a halfway job or whatever, but he said, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And I just always took that and really carried that really deep within myself, and always tried to strive and do what was right every time. Because if you're going to do it, you might as well take the extra effort and time and energy to do it the correct way. And I tell my kids that all the time. And so I think aside from, faith in God, that's kind of what drives me is if I'm going to spend my precious time, and not that I'm super important because I'm not, but everybody's time is precious to them. If I'm going to take my time out of my life, I'm going to do it right. And I think if we could all lean in and put that much energy and effort into the things that we're doing, whether it's cutting the grass or whether it's washing the car or doing the laundry, or, I think Nick Saban said this in one of his talks, do the simple things great. If you can do the simple things great, then those big things aren't quite so difficult because you can do the little menial things so much better. And so I try to always put that extra bit of effort into whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah. Sam.
Ashley, what can we do to help you in your office?
Our biggest issue right now, and this I think is just a nationwide issue, and you guys know this, is trying to get men and women to come join our ranks. That is, the biggest concern that we have is trying to get our men and women, to get new men and women to want to come join us, or to even get folks that are in the profession to come and work for us. And we're working on some plans. Matter of fact, I've got a meeting today about how we can create a lateral scale so I can entice a 10 or 12 year law enforcement officer to leave wherever they are and to come work where they live and make that difference in their own community. And so I think that's one of the biggest things is, how do we make it enticing for people to want to come work in their own community? Because we've got to fill our ranks. If we could get, and we're down 50-ish people, but man, if we could get about 25 people on our, to fill a few spots, we would be in a really, really, really good position. We could be, our goal is to be more proactive rather than reactive. But when you're going from call to call to call, that's all you can do is react. And so that proactivity, and we've had a lot more proactivity. I told our guys at the beginning of the year, I said, the days of us sitting behind churches watching Netflix are done. We're going to be visible. We're going to be moving. We're going to be engaged with our community. And so that's one of the biggest issues is we need people. So just advocate in the community for folks to, if you feel led to do this job, it's like law enforcement, public safety, being in the military. Those are the only jobs that I know of, and there may be other ones that are out there, but those are the only jobs that I know of where when you put on whatever you have to wear to that job every single day, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I may not make it back home. There is a high likelihood that I could die at work today. And, if you're in the corporate world, you don't think about that, and so in public safety, in the military, those are things that you literally have to think about every day. And so it's a bitter pill to swallow for folks. And I think that's one of the reasons. And then you pair that with the climate of our country and the media and how they can negatively portray law enforcement. It makes it more difficult to get men and women to want to come do what we do. So we need that. And the continued love and support of our community, which we have. We know that it's a very small minority of people who are naysayers about law enforcement and public safety. We know that the silent majority is there. We just don't always hear them when we need to hear them. So, keep doing what you guys do. Advocate for the military, for, first responders with PTSD. Those things are real. I mean, I know you guys know that. You pour your heart and soul into that every day. But continuing to advocate for that, for just getting more assistance with mental health, those things are vitally important to what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I know you're on a time crunch, right? Going to another meeting. So we want to thank you so much. And what we'll do, Ashley, is we'll connect up with Ricky, and we'll throw the Paulding County Sheriff's Office website up on our webpage and in social media and on our mobile app. And then I'll get a recruiting poster or something from him so we can get that word out and see what we can do to help drive some good qualified people to the office so we can help you out.
Yeah, that'd be great. And also, kind of as we kind of summarize, we're getting near the holiday season and Christmas is coming up. We've got our annual Cops for Kids Christmas shopping event coming up. December 13th, we'll take about 250 kids to Walmart on Marietta Highway, and we'll take them shopping. So that's always a great event. We've got our Paulding Sheriff's Foundation up and running. So it's basically a nonprofit that takes care of our men and women for the things that government dollars can't take care of. When you have a loved one who passes and we need to send flowers, or we want to host a lunch or a breakfast for our staff, those foundation dollars are what will finance that. So, we're really advocating for people, if they're interested, to please help donate. We just learned about this Less Crime Act, which is fantastic. Didn't know anything about it until a couple weeks ago, but you can actually, you can direct your state tax dollars that you would have to pay to the Department of Revenue. You can designate them for a law enforcement foundation. So we're working on getting everything set up on our end. So if you owe $600, instead of paying it to the Georgia Department of Revenue, you can defer that payment to us and they will give you that tax credit. So you get to direct where your tax dollars go, and they can stay directly in your community, impacting the men and women that keep you safe. So we're super excited about that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley. We really, really appreciate it. And God bless you. And be safe out there.
Yep.